Welcome back to episode 8 here of the Realignment 2028 series. We are the Oakland A's, expansion team Oakland A's, making the playoffs in only our second year of existence. If you count us as a separate team from the old Oakland A's, which I guess I would for the purposes of this. We had a great season. We finished where's standings? 95 and 67. Uh, Came really close to getting a first round bye. It just came down to head to head tiebreakers. But because of that, we will be playing the first round of the playoffs against the New York Yankees, who look quite good. The AL's stacked between the Red Sox, Orioles, Yankees, that whole division stacked. And then, the Tigers look okay, and the Rangers are at least on par with us. So, it's going to be a struggle. We play a 3-game series. Because we won the division, all 3 games are in Oakland. If it goes 3 games. And here's how I've decided to set up the roster. Just going with 12 pitchers for the first series because it's only a 3-game series. We only need 3 starters, so I think it makes sense to go with an extra batter over pitcher in this one. Chase Petty will get the nod in Game 1 over Robbie Snelling. He's just been very slightly better in terms of his underlying numbers. They're kind of 1A and 1B at this point in terms of our aces, and then Montero will start Game 3 if necessary. Sinja remains in our closer role. I am going to use Jackson Ferris in a stopper role. So if we get, later in the game and I need a high leverage spot or several innings out of someone, he will be likely who I turn to. Landon Rope and Griffin Jacks will be our setup men. Alex McFarland will be middle relief. Ideally, I don't have to use anyone outside of those 5. If we need long relief, I've got Tyler Anderson and Gavin Jones, who are our 4th and 5th starters throughout the season. They can cover several innings, hopefully, with no issues. And then Henry Baez and Baz, I never made that connection until now, will be our remaining pitchers. And then our lineups. Some interesting lineup construction here because Zanatello's out with a sprained ankle, uncertain return date. So I did put him on the playoff roster because if he comes back from injury in Game 2 or 3, I want to start him. And because we don't really have a lot of great replacements for him, honestly. So I just kind of went with the underlying numbers here versus righties. From top to bottom, Luke Keeschall starts in left field. Kyle Schwarber's our starting DH. Santana starting at shortstop. Kinney at first. None of these should be too surprising, I think. Garcia is our starting catcher against righties. Ciani at center field. DeLuca. Let me sort by right-handed splits because he's actually fallen off a bit against righties. Still good underlying numbers here for the season. Which mainly due to the fact that he crushed lefties, as you'll see on the next screen. But he's batting 7th and playing right field. Alex Mooney will be our starting second baseman, where he can play decently well. And then Connor Griffin, our starting third baseman, because he edges out our other outfielders and infielders in terms of what he can do against righties, and he can play a decent third base. These numbers are not bad, and I think he's played several games for us and put up positive zone ratings, so I don't mind starting him at third. And then Montero will kind of be first off the bench in terms of pitch hitters. Serta backup catcher, Chorio Hansen. Against lefties, it does switch around a little bit. DeLuca. Serta gets the start at catcher against lefties. He's just been better against lefties. With Montero getting the nod at second. Small sample size, but he's done well against lefties so far, so hopefully that continues in the playoffs. Schwarber be our DH. DeLuca in the left field. Keeschall playing first over Cooper Kinney, who has, not quite put up the same numbers against lefties and is kind of the odd man out, just barely getting edged out in terms of OPS plus by Ciani. Ciani would have been our starting left center fielder anyway, but yeah. I think this makes the most sense because Keyshaw can play a good first base, and that lets us get Churio in the outfield, where he's a good defender. So Connor Griffin starts again at third, Ciani at center, and then Santana at shortstop. His bat is pretty bad against lefties, but he's in there for his defense, especially so with Zanatella injured, and we don't have anywhere near the defensive replacement at shortstop for him as we would with him healthy. Obviously these lineups will change slightly if Zanatella comes back during the series, but for now, as we clear out our messages here, let's go ahead, and I will be manually playing these games. I like to do, let's see, AI with everything but substitutions. I will, if I want to pitch around a certain guy, I might jump in here for some of these. Maybe base stealing, probably not though. As we look at the Yankees lineup from top to bottom, Volpe, had a great season, 6.2 WAR. He's probably one of the best players on their team. Lombard Jr., also a great season, playing second for them. Kyle Tucker, now on the Yankees. He's done what you'd expect him to do with that contract. Aaron Judge, now 37 years old, wrecked, but still putting up good power numbers here. He should be probably DHing for them, but instead he's playing first. Jason Dominguez, solid season, 3 WAR season in the outfield for them. Jordan Lawler is their DH, even though he's got good fielding ratings. I don't understand. I guess because you have Volpe at shortstop, but yeah, I don't know. Play him at second or something, you guys. Anyway, Arias playing third with good defensive numbers. Avina center field. He's more of a fill-in guy, it looks like. And Bo Naylor, our old friend who went to the Yankees and did much better than he did for us. If you recall, we traded him along with Acuna. Acuna has struggled for them, and I don't know if he's actually on their playoff roster or not. But either way, Naylor done much better for them. We got mostly prospects back. We did get Luke Hansen, who will be maybe playing in this series for us in return, and Montero. So 2 depth guys that we ended up needing as the season went on. And yeah, none of these other guys will play, although Zimmerman, it is worth noting, has done well in A-ball so far. So yeah, and you see our lineup top to bottom. That's our left-handed line up against Max Fried, who's their starter, their ace. He doesn't walk a lot of guys. He has a decent K per 9, decent ERA, lots of pitches, good stamina. I mean, he's going to be tough to beat. Yeah, so let's go ahead and get into the game. Now that I've adjusted our in-game sound settings, let's go here. Some in batter by batter here. Yeah, and I think for our stadium, I did construct the dimensions of Oakland Coliseum. The look might be a little off, probably very off, because I think I took the, old AAA stadium that they were playing out of and adjusted it, so... but everything else should be accurate, and Chase Petty takes the mound for us against Volpe. Sorry about that. Space also stops the recording in OBS, so fun fact. When I hit space to sim, yeah, still learning here. Some ins and outs here. A lot of empty seats in the stands here for what should be a playoff game here in Oakland. Volpe up to the plate and hits it to the third base side. Easy out, one up, one down. All right, Chase Petty. Let's see how he does against Lombard Jr. Strikeouts. Love it. Love to see that. Swing and a miss. All right, Kyle Tucker, always dangerous at the plate. Strike three. All right. 1-2-3 inning. Love to see that from Chase Petty. All right, Serda leading off for us. It's Max Fried. And that's a strikeout. All right. Montero, our fill-in second baseman, hits a little looper into left field and drops down for a hit. All right. Actually goes to second on it. And looks like Montero makes it in with a double. All right. We're in business here in the first. See if Schwarber can drive him in. Little flare out to left field in foul territory. Does get caught by Dominguez. Johnny DeLuca. And that's a pop-up in shallow center. That the second baseman handles with no issues. They get out of it without scoring a run. Yeah. Aaron Judge. Batting cleanup for Yankees, and that will drop down for at least a single, maybe a double. It's deep in the outfield. Let's see. He does go into second base here with the double. All right. Let's see if Petty can work around this as Dominguez steps up to the plate. It's a little flare out to the center. Pop up. Actually doesn't even leave the infield. That's one out. All right. Petty. To Lawler. It's a D center field. Judge thinks about tagging, but thinks better of it. 2 outs now. As Arias steps up to the plate. Little grounder to the right hand side of the infield. No pop. Alright, so A's get out of it again. Let's see if Keyshaw can do anything against Fried here. That's a drive deep to right. Oh, right at Tucker. 1 out. Okay, that got me excited for a second. Fried only at 21 pitches so far for the game. He's dealing, and he's going to get another out here as Chorio grounds it weakly to the left-hand side. And Connor Griffin. Let's see if he can do anything against Max Fried. Does work a full count and gets a walk. All right. Connor Griffin. Definitely a threat to steal. Let's see if he tries it against Ciani. He does not get a good jump. Out by a mile. Okay. Ooh. You don't love to see that. All right. Petty faces Avina. Strike out. Number 3. Yeah, number 3 for Petty. He's doing well. Naylor steps up. He's batting in the 9 spot for them and grounds out here to the right hand side. Volpe works a full count and strikes out. Nice. Strikeout number 4 for Petty. He's doing quite well. We got our pitchers doing well in hand so far. Fried steps up here. Strike 3 against Ciani. He's got 2 strikeouts so far today. Santana, not known for his hitting, but does drive that one to center field decently deep, but Avina does bring it down. And Serda leading off for us. Let's see if he can do anything. Nope, that's a strikeout. All right. So far, not much action in this game, but Lombard right at the third baseman, Griffin, 1 out. Petty's at 51 pitches. Do want to keep an eye on that as Tucker drives it to center, and that's right at Ciani. That Judge is 1 for 1 so far. See if we can get a strikeout on him here, and we can. A swing and a miss. Love to see that. All right. Fried is only at 44 pitches. With 65 stamina, he'll probably go decently deep into the game, especially considering this is the playoffs. And Montero hits a little looper into left field, center field. Right, makes it on. He's a decent threat to steal, but probably won't look to do that. Schwarber up the plate, who works the full count and then strikes out. All right. DeLuca 0 for 1 so far. Let's see if he can do anything. Shallow left field. Dominguez brings it down. All right. Key shot. Up to bat. Let's see. Oh, they threw it away. As Montero goes to second base, now he's in scoring position. All right, Keyshaw. See if he can manage to bring Montero home, take advantage of that error. Little weak grounder to the right side, and Fried should be able to cover and get to the bag, no problem. All right. Only 3 hits combined through 4 innings for these teams. Yeah, kind of what I would expect, I think. Petty, 4 shutout innings. I mean, we're not thinking about pulling him yet. We got only 50-something pitches, but it is something to keep in mind as Dominguez drives that deep, and it could be trouble just over the fence in deep right center, and gone. All right. Only the second hit allowed for the Yankees, but it is a 1-run homer. And the way things are going, that might be enough for them, as Lawler also hits one deep to left center and gone. Man, that's rough. Petty had been dealing so far and then gives up back-to-back home runs. Okay. Yeah. I think we still stick with Petty here. I mean, I think that's just some bad luck there. Both of those were hit decently hard, but alright, as Avina steps up to the plate here. And strikes out. Okay. And Naylor, 2 outs, steps in to face Petty, and that's going to get down for a hit to shallow right field. Petty's at 80 pitches. I think Volpe 0 for 2 so far. Yeah, I think we let him finish out the inning here at least, as he strikes out. I don't know if I'll bring him back out for the 6th, given how Fried is pitching so far. You know, we might want to go to our bullpen early here. Is our bullpen going to be better than a tired Petty? As, you know, our offense gets 2 quick outs here. Ciani, let's see if he can put the ball in play. He does put it in play, but not past the center field or second. Shortstop. All right, still 2-0. All right, Petty at 85 pitches. I think, let's see. I think he'll face Lombard, and then I'll bring in, what do I have in terms of, yeah, Ferris is a lefty. I think bringing him in against Tucker makes sense. So this would be Petty's last batter. As Lombard Jr. pops it up. Still a very solid outing for Petty. You know, 2 hits on 2 runs on 2 solo home runs. Only 4 hits allowed. Still a very solid outing. Unfortunately, Max Fried is just dealing so far. So I have to, I think, make the decision to pull him here. You know, we want to keep this game under control, and Jackson Ferris will hopefully come in and pitch an inning or 2 for us here. Get the lefty matchup against Kyle Tucker, as he shoots a little dribbler to the right, and no problem. Kyle Tucker's down. Aaron Judge strikes out. Love to see that. All right, so Ferris will come back out for the 7th, and Santana against Fried. Yeah, I mean, we are in a weird position where, yeah, if we're gonna pinch hit, I think Santana would maybe be a spot to do it. I think it's still a little early for that. Serda does get walked here. Do you think about pinch running in the 6th? I think we leave Serda here. Montero, the little dribbler out in front of the plate. Basically a swinging bunt. Oh, actually an infield hit. All right, Montero manages to make it to 1st and 10. Now we have 2 on, only 1 out, and Kyle Schwarber up to the plate. And if you look at our numbers against left-handed pitching, I think Schwarber does well. I mean, there's not any better options to pinch hit. Yeah, at the moment. So Schwarber and then hopefully DeLuca up. Max Fried's starting to get tired, 86 pitches. Let's see if Schwarber can drive him out of the game here. So there's a little dribbler to the right-hand side. They go to 2nd for 1, and Schwarber, he's pretty slow. Does he make it? Oh, they do get the double play. Okay. They get out of the inning without any runs scored. Ugh. Man, that's frustrating. All right. So Ferris backed up against Dominguez, who's a switch hitter. Let's see if he can get out. Ball 4. Okay. Dominguez also a threat to steal. They do a hit and run, which lets them stay out of the double play. The New York manager comes out to argue the call. All right. Dominguez now in scoring position. Let's see if we can prevent them from getting any insurance runs here. Oh, he swings at an inside pitch like that. All right, Ferris, 2 down, facing Avina. I think he will face Naylor as well in the next inning, and then we'll go to someone else in the bullpen. As Fried's still in the game at 87 pitches. DeLuca, let's see if he can get him out of here. We want to face the New York bullpen as DeLuca drives one deep to right field. Is it going to make it out? Yes, it is. All right. That's a home run. 2-1 now. You still have some signs of life. Maybe you should have pulled Fried a little earlier as they're keeping him in the game. Let's see if Keyshaw can do some more damage against him here. Works a walk, still keeping him in the game at 94 pitches with Speedy Keyshaw on. As Chorio loops one into left field, does make it down. Fried still out there at 95 pitches. Griffin, I mean, I know you want your ace out there, but yeah. As Keyshaw tags up and goes to 3rd. Now he's in position to potentially score on a sac fly as Fried now at 98 pitches in a 1-run game. And Ciani up to the plate. Again, he does still have slightly better numbers than anyone that we pinch hit for. Santana we might look to pinch hit for. I forgot to turn off the board. Okay, so I usually like to turn that off. So I will go ahead and start warming up. So we go to the 8th in a close game. Landon Rope will be. Ciani will stand to hit against Fried. Let's see what he can do. Just get it out of the infield and that should score a run, or you could strike out. Okay. Now they finally pull him against Santana. Alright, and batters against right-hand pitching. Yeah, this is a spot where we need runs. Santana's a great defender, but it does hit righties decently well. and this is a crucial at bat. We need Cooper Kinney in there. We need runs, so Cooper Kinney, pinch hitting against Heechin. All right. Anyway, Cooper Kinney drives in a run, rewarding our faith in him as Chourio hustles to third base safely. Now the top of the order comes back up as Cerda is up, and Cerda, I'm going to go and pinch hit for him as well, with our catcher Garcia, who hits righties better. A walk on Juan. Oh, that scores a run. They're falling apart here in the 7th inning. 3-run 7th now as Garcia comes up to bat. With Kenny now in scoring position. He does strike out, though. Okay. Position-wise, we don't have Zanatello. We need Montero to shift over to shortstop. We need someone to play second base, and that someone will be Alex Mooney. Garcia will slot in a catcher. I'm going to leave Kinney in to play first base, and then Keyshaw. Do I take out Keyshaw or Chourio? I think Chourio is the one to take out here. So Keyshaw will stay in and play left field, with DeLuca shifting over to right, and then Mooney will come in and play second, replacing Chourio. Okay. As we return to the game, and Ferris will stay in to face Bo Naylor, and then Rope will come in looking to shut down the rest of the lineup, as Ferris does walk Bo Naylor, but yeah, and Rope will come in here, and we will start warming up our closer as well, Sinja, if needed. Let's see if Rope can get out of this inning without any damage, as Volpe turns to bunt. And can't bunt on strike 2, and so ends up striking out. Alright, love to see that. George Lombard up to bat. As there's a dribbler, that could be a double play. Out at from second, and then out at first. Love to see it. Alright. Juan stays in after, a disastrous performance there, as Montero swings and misses. Schwarber 0 for 3 so far today. See if he can do anything. He does hit it deep to right field, and right at the right fielder, Kyle Tucker. Alright, and DeLuca, as we roll to warm up Sinja again. As DeLuca swings deep to center field, and that's out of play for another home run. Now we have 2 run lead. Love to see that as Juan, too little, too late here. Leaving in Max Fried when he was getting hit around in the 7th. I think that's a second guessing that's worth. It's worth second guessing that managerial decision. As Keyshaw gets on again, Mooney comes up, came in to play second for us, and he does fly out to the center field. All right, so coming in to close out the game in the 9th inning is Sinja. Let's see who has better numbers against lefties. I'm curious, because I haven't done as deep of a dive here. Sinja actually doesn't do super well against lefties, at least in terms of FIP. Okay. So let's leave Rope in for Kyle Tucker, and then Sinja will face the last two batters here as Rope comes up. A walk. All right, Sinja's coming up. Try to close down the game against Aaron Judge. And Judge works a walk. Okay, so we're in a little bit of trouble here, but Sinja has been reliable all season. He's the guy. Let's see if he can do what he's done all season and get the save as Siani gets the first out. Jordan Lawler steps up to the plate. As he hits the little flare to the right-hand side of the infield, and Kenny pulls it down. And 2 outs, 2 men on. Arias comes up to bat. Sinja. Check swing. Goes around. And that's the game as Oakland wins 4-2. Yeah, DeLuca actually hit 2 home runs in this game. I didn't even realize. Yeah, he's the worthy player of the game there. Love to see that. His playoff OPS is 2.5. Yeah, that's, a very small sample size, but incredible game by him. Petty had a very solid outing, outpitched by Max Fried, who unfortunately for them came apart in the 7th inning. You let him go 101 pitches. I think in the playoffs you got to pull him a little bit sooner than that, even if he's been dealing all game, just with how close the game was. Yeah, and Ferris came in and put up a solid performance. 3 strikeouts, did have 2 walks. Ultimately didn't give up a run, though, as Rope came in, gave up no hits, but did walk a guy. Sinja also walked 1, struck out 1. Yeah, very solid performance all around. DeLuca basically our entire offense in this game, as Montero, was 3 for 4 as well. So it's worth noting that. Lots of other guys. Schwarber was 0 for 4. Griffin was 0 for 2. Siani 0 for 3. Santana 0 for 2. Kinney with a clutch pinch hit at bat in the 7th. Yeah, I feel pretty vindicated about my decisions in that game, and let's see if we can avoid game 3 here, as we unlocked an achievement for double dinger. DeLuca hit 2 home runs against the Yankees. You love to see it. All right, as we finish today, let's also see if Zanatello is still hurt, still uncertain return. We'd love to have him back for the next series, but Snelling will be starting game 2 for us, and we will be facing Ben Hess, so a slightly different lineup. We'll use our right-handed lineup in this game, and I'll go over that lineup here shortly. All right, game 2 here against the Yankees. I will remember to change this to no warm-up required. Largely the same lineup for them against lefty Snelling, Volpe, Tucker, Judge, Lombard Jr., Dominguez, Lawler, Arias, Avina, Naylor. I think that's their same lineup. For us, it'll be a little bit different since Ben Hess is a righty. We have Luke Keyshaw at left field, Kyle Schwarber DHing. Hopefully he does better than he did last game. Santana batting third because he actually does well against righties. Cooper Kinney, cleanup spot. Garcia will be starting for us at catcher. Siani in center field. DeLuca in right. Hopefully he continues the pace that he was on last game. Mooney at second base and Connor Griffin at third, with Snelling on the mound. If we win this, we move on to the next round. So let's get started. Alrighty. Game 2 of the MLB round 1. Alright. I really should go through and name those playoff series, but in the meantime, here's Volpe. That's hit to deep left center and extra bases. Alright. Not exactly the best way to start the game, but, maybe we can work around it. So, Volpe gets a double. Also very speedy on base paths, so we'll see if he looks to steal third. Knowing out. Looks like no. Tucker strikes out. That's good. Alright, Judge up third. He strikes out. Alright. And then Lombard Jr. getting cleaned up. And we walked him. Alright. 4-pitch walk. Not the best, but you see. Nice strikeout. Okay, so a double, a walk, and 3 strikeouts. Very mixed bag of results, but I'll take it because it results in 0 runs. So, Luke Keyshaw leading off. And here's the pitch, and that's going to be an out. Grounding to the shortstop. Alright. Kyle Schwarber works a full count. Let's see if he can get something done here. Nope, he strikes out. Okay, Schwarber has not been great so far this series. Santana strikes out as well. Okay. That's a 1-2-3 inning. Not ideal. Alright, Lawler up to bat for the Yankees. He strikes out. Okay. Arias. Pop up on the infield. Easy for Kinney. 2 outs. Avina lines one just past the second baseman into the outfield. Alright, Bo Naylor. Oh, that's a pass ball. Alright, or a wild pitch. Yeah, Snelling is just had an interesting outing so far. It's a wild pitch and walk and 4 strikeouts. It's a tough infield grounder. Are we going to get him? Infield hit. Okay. So first and third with 2 outs. Volpe back up to bat again. Works a full count, and that should be an out to Santana. Volpe's speedy, but again, gets to the bag. Alright. Get out of it unscathed. McKinney to bat. Expects him to do good things. Not this time, though. He grounds out to the second baseman, or shortstop. Alright, and Garcia. What do you have, Garcia? Show me what you got. That's a strikeout. Hess is also dealing so far. I think he hasn't allowed a base runner yet, although that one could be trouble. No, Avina manages to get that one too. So 3 up, 3 down. We are going down in order so far. All right, Kyle Tucker back up to bat. Snelling strikes out. That's good. Judge down on strikes as well. All right. 6 strikeouts for Snelling so far, along with 3 hits. Make that 7. Okay. Wow. So, we are potentially up for another pitcher's duel here again today, although Snelling's also allowed 3 hits, so we'll see. As DeLuca grounds out, Mooney, can he get anything done here? That looks like it might drop. Nope. Not shallow enough. Unfortunately, Connor Griffin in the 9th spot. Can he get anything done? Like, he strikes out as well. Alright. So, we currently have a perfect game going against us. I don't mind trying to jinx that. Although maybe I reverse jinx it by saying it out loud here. I don't know. As that gets through the infield, not a lot of, like, hard hits so far. There's been like infield hits, little bloopers. He might have given up a double, but yeah, it's been a mostly good outing so far for Snell. I mean, obviously he hasn't given up any runs yet, but still trying to think about the long term, like how late do I let him go in this game? I mean, he's got 8 strikeouts now, so it seems like either a hit or a strikeout almost every at bat. That's I guess he'll take that. And that's another strikeout. Wow. So he's up to 9 strikeouts through 4 innings. I'd say he's dealing. Even though he's given up 4 runs. Like, we'll give him a bit of leeway, I think. And that's the first hit. Okay, there we go. Finally, first hit of the game. Keyshaw also a threat to steal, especially against Bo Naylor, who does not have a great arm. Let's see who looks to go. No, he strikes out. Hess isn't good at holding runners either, so I would hope Keyshawn would look to steal here. Still no, and instead we grounded to, no, not a double play. Alright, Santana, also a threat to steal. You'll see here, nope, popped up on the infield, and it doesn't really matter if he tried to steal or not, that's the end of the inning, so. Alright, Naylor up against Snelling now. Snelling is only at 74 pitches through 4 and third. Yeah, now third time through the order, so I want to make sure, as that one could be trouble. Ooh, that's just barely a home run, 405 feet in left center. All right. Yeah, man, that's rough. It's been some bad luck for our pitchers. 10 strikeouts, though. It's a good outing no matter which way you swing it, but yeah. As Judge walks, that's only the second walk for Snelling so far. 2 outs. Yeah, I think we let him at least try to get through the inning here. Little blooper, but that should be playable. Okay. Snelling gets it done. So he's through 5. We did have to use our bullpen a bit last game. Yeah, we'll see how late they let Hess go. And Garcia grounds out. Yeah, Hess is only at 54 pitches. My God, yeah, so he's got a ways to go yet. Especially if we keep grounding out like that. Like to, hopefully get into their bullpen. That was when we really started to do damage in the last game, although that was also towards the end of Fried's day as well. So DeLuca goes down. All right, Snelling at 88 pitches. I think if he gives up anything, walk, hit in this inning, he's done. I'll see if I can make him go through 6. That's kind of what I've decided here, as there's a little blue pit, and sure enough, he gives up a hit. So, all right. In that case, Ferris is tired. I don't really want to go to him again. I think we go to, in the 6th inning, probably McFarland, Jax, Rope, Sinja will be the plan here, tentatively. So let's go ahead and get McFarland in here. As he strikes out Lawler. Arias up to bat. He strikes out. Alright, and Avina. That's a hit the somewhat deep left field, but alright. So McFarland does his job. Mooney in to face Hess. As that's a little bloop single into left field. Alright, so now we're down towards the bottom of our order. Is there a chance to pitch hit here? No, not really. And Mooney is already plenty speedy. Hopefully he looks to get into scoring position. So let's see. What do I have their stealing strategy set to? I'm curious. Yeah, he's set to frequently steal bases, but apparently, I don't know. Let's see if he looks to go here with the key shot. He does take off. He gets a great jump. Yeah, that's going to be safe. All right. Nice job, Mooney, getting him into scoring position. And now we got 2 opportunities to try and get him in here with Keyshaw. Keyshaw walks. All right, 2 on for Kyle Schwarber. Let's see what you can do, Schwarbs. I'd love to see him just crush it. That'll work too. Ground ball through the infield. right to the outfielder, but Mooney will score. They got him. Oh, wow. Gun down at the plate. Man, Schwarber and Keyshaw do advance. Santana, it's up to him to try and get a run here. Fly ball to right field. Will that hang up there for Tucker? Yes, it will. Damn. That was the opportunity there. McFarland still looking okay with only 11 pitches. I think I'll leave him out here for now. I would like to see how he does versus lefties. He does okay. You know, I'd say if he gets into any trouble, we bring in Griffin Jacks. Yeah. Maybe we'll bring in Jacks against Tucker regardless. We'll see how the inning goes. Strikes out Naylor. Love to see that. Volpe. Strikes out Volpe. I think I'll leave him in to face Tucker. That's a fly ball deep to right. Is it going to stay in? No. Okay. 350 feet, just barely over the wall. All right. Aaron Judge. This will be McFarland's last batter, regardless. That's a fly ball to center, and that'll come down. But they score another insurance run. Ben Hess still in 84 pitches. All right, we have to get to him here. I feel like there's no reason to leave him in this one. Kinney hits it to center, and Pina pulls it down. All right, Garcia, come on. Punish their hubris. So far done. All right. Ciani, not known for his hitting. Let's see what he does here. Strikes out. All right. 1, 2, 3, and yeah, that'll punish him. All right. Okay. I'll go to let's see here. I'll go to Jacks. Out. Mark Jr. Dominguez steps in. Strikes out Dominguez. Alright, and Lawler. See if he can strike out the side. And he can. Love to see it. Alright. Nice job by Griffin Jacks. Now we need some runs. And now lefty Minho Han is in. And now we play the splits game. We've got Montero, who's great against lefties. We've got Cerda, who's great against lefties. We're not pinch hitting for DeLuca, who's amazing against lefties. We might think about Mooney. Griffin does okay. Mooney would be a good spot to pinch hit, I think. You know, no one has done much of anything this game. Mooney has one of our few hits this game, but if we're playing purely the splits, I think it makes the most sense to do that. So, yeah, see what DeLuca can do. DeLuca, weak grounder to the shortstop. That'll be out number 1. All right, Mooney steps in, and I will go ahead and pinch hit for him with Montero. Show me what you got, Montero. Strikes out. Okay. And then Griffin, we will let him hit. Could go with Cerda. I think we'll look to use Serta someone else, maybe for Santana or Garcia if he gets up to the bat. All right. That could drop, and it does. All right. Here in business with a single. Griffin, great on the base pass, no need to pinch run. Keyshaw, who will lead in. Yeah, he does pretty well against lefties. Schwarber has been bad this whole series, so look to maybe pinch it for him if Keyshaw can get on. Instead, Keyshaw pops it up in the infield, and inning is over. Okay. Montero will stay in play second base. Griffin Jacks, I'm going to leave him out there. You know, if he gets into trouble, we maybe bring in another pitcher, but we'll see if he can make it through the bottom of the order unscathed. And so far, so good. One out. Avina. Weak grounder to the third baseman. That should be no problem either. Alright, and Naylor has had one hit today. Does hit it fairly deep to right center, but that's no problem for Seattle. Alright, 1, 2, 3. And we are down to our last few at-bats. Alright, Schwarber is 1 for 3 today. In terms of our left-handed batters, we've got Serta that can pinch hit. Hansen is a no, most likely. And Trilio, maybe for one of these guys. I think we let Schwarber bat, we pinch hit for Santana, and maybe Garcia if it goes that long. Schwarber right to the second baseman. All right, you not justified my faith in you. Santana will get pinch hit. Serta does do well against lefties. Let's see what he can do here. Strikes out. Okay, down to our last at bat. Cooper Kinney, show me what you got. And he hits a weak grounder to the right-hand side. That is the game. So this game will go to the full 3 games, despite, you know, our starting pitcher Snelling striking out 10 in the game. He does give up 2 solo home runs. Yeah, or one of those might have been given up by McFarland. Either way, yeah, not a fun game to lose when your team does pretty well. You know, only gives up 2 earned runs total, and still loses the game because the offense was just not there. You know, 4 hits total does not get it done. It's hard to win a game with only 4 hits. So we will move on to game number 3, and let's see. Also, as we finish today, Sonatello's still not back from injury, so we will be rolling with the guys that we have. Yeah, let's see how we can do in game 3. All right, it is the next day in real life, but going to game 3 here against the Yankees. Still largely the same lineup that we've been seeing this whole series, as Volpe is probably their hottest hitter. We're going with our left-handed lineup again, and Montero will take the mound for us today in this elimination game, so we'll have to see how things go. All right, as we head to the top of the first. 59 degrees. All right, 1-0 pitch. It's put in play. Easy for Santana to handle. It's 1 out. see that. Lombard Jr. works a full count here as it gets looped into the shallow right field. Churio gets it. And Kyle Tucker, always dangerous hitter, but grounds out softly to Keyshaw, who is our first baseman right now. So 1-2-3 inning. Like to see that. Bubic is the pitcher for New York. Cerda batting leadoff for us. Let's see what he does with this 3-2 pitch, and he walks. All right. That's how you like to start off the game. Work the count full, 8-pitch at bat, get a walk. Let's see if Montero, he's been hot in this playoff series, but doesn't do much with that pitch as he flies out to the center fielder. Schwarber also, he has not been hot, only 1 hit in 8 tries. Cerda trying to steal, what are you doing? Oh my god, okay. Alright, Cerda, that's an ill-advised steal. Alright, Judge comes up, works a 3-2 count, and it's hit deep to center field, but it's still playable for Seattle. 1 out. Jason Dominguez, another deep fly ball, but this one also playable for Churio. Alright, and finally Lawler. Hopefully finally. That's, ooh, down the line, that's going to be extra bases. That's to the corner. Let's see if they can at least hold him to 2. Hard to say. As, yeah, he does stay at second. Lawler's a threat to steal, but probably won't with 2 outs here as Arias swings and misses strike 3. Alright, so we give up the double, but no harm there ultimately as DeLuca comes up to bat. Man, so that was a strike him out, throw him out on Schwarber. I didn't even realize that because DeLuca's up now. Alright, so, yeah, fly out to right field. Keyshaw, little looper, just finds left center field over second baseman. As Keyshaw, he should be someone who's thinking about stealing. So that might have been an attempted hit and run play then that Cerda was trying to do, and Schwarber just didn't make contact with it. I've been pretty underwhelmed with Schwarber so far this series as we hit into a double play. Again, not much action in the early innings. I think the first 4 innings have been scoreless in both of the first 2 games. So far, scoreless through 2 for both teams. Yeah, not a lot of offense here. As Naylor strikes out. Okay, Montero doing pretty well so far. 1 time through the order, only allowed 1 hit, 2 strikeouts through 2 1/3. He is already at 50 pitches, so I'll have to keep an eye on that. But we do have pretty much our whole bullpen available today, and we will be using them pretty liberally, I think, as this is game 3. And if Montero starts to struggle, we'll bring in some guys. But hopefully, is that fair? That is fair. Just fair down the right field line. That's going to score a run. It's another extra base hit. As it is now 1-0 off of that double. All right, Kyle Tucker. We got 2 outs. Let's see if we can get Kyle Tucker out as... Oh, that does fall into right field. Churio. Yeah, Tucker goes first. It's another double. 3 doubles in a row. Okay. That looked like it should have been held to just 1, but, sometimes the graphics can be a little bit deceiving. As Judge drives it deep, but playable. Okay. So give up 2 in the 3rd. We'll have to see Bubic only at 35 pitches. So we're going to be seeing probably at least a few more innings of him. Love to get to the New York bullpen earlier than we have in the last few games, but our offense has not. That's been the weak point of our team, I think, the entire season, despite trying to trade for guys like Keyshaw and Schwarber, both of which haven't. Well, Keyshaw's done decent in this series so far, but Schwarber is just not performing very well. Santana not known for his hitting, and he shows off that there by grounding out to the first baseman. Okay, so Montero at 66 pitches. It is a 2-0 game. Love to see him go at least 5 in this game. You know, like I said, we'll be pretty liberal with the bullpen here. As that gets hit into left field. Okay, I think probably try to go through these next 3 batters and then see where Montero is at in terms of pitch count. He's at 80 already, so I think, yeah, he's, regardless of how these next 2 batters go, I think that's going to be it for him. You'd love to see him make it through 4. 82. This will be his last batter, no matter what. Hit and run is on, but they should have the out at first. Okay. Nice shot. Gets the ball there. Alright. So, only 4 innings. I think that's the call. I'm going to bring in one of our long relievers to face Volpe in the next inning. Don't know who yet. It'll be either Anderson or Jones. Then probably look to bring in Ferris after that in our setup and closers after that. So that's the rough plan. Schwarber strikes out again. What else is new? Might pinch hit for him next time through the order. You know, if you're batting third and playing DH, you need to put up better numbers than that. Like, that's just, yeah, he's been very disappointing this series. All right. Yeah, Montero's day is done. Against righties, who am I most afraid of here in this line? Probably Volpe. Judge, although he hasn't hit super well, and Tucker. So, both Jones and Anderson are lefties. Could go with McFarland instead. Could go with Baz. Even though he's technically a middle reliever, he can kind of be used in long relief here. So whoever I put in, I want to pitch probably 2 innings. Or I could go to Ferris here, and that might be a decent play here against, you know, the 1, 2, 3 hitters in their lineup. Ferris is slightly tired after throwing 41 pitches, but I think I'll go with him. Try to get 2 innings out of Ferris here. Let's see how it goes. As he's likely walking Volpe on 4 pitches, not an ideal start to the inning. All right, Lombard Jr. does strike out there. All right, let's see if we can come back here against Kyle Tucker. 3-1 pitch. That's going to be extra bases most likely as that gets a score. Okay, that might score another run here. And it does. All right, so Ferris comes in and gives up a run. Not ideal. As Judge hits a little ground ball to the side and does advance the runner to third, but the out is more important at this point. Given how tired Ferris is already, this will probably be his last batter. I know I said I wanted him to go 2 innings, but yeah, we need to keep this game under control. So he comes in, gives up a run. Not the most ideal outing, but could have been a lot worse as well. All right, so Bubic, still only at 59 pitches. And knowing the CPU, he'll probably be in for at least a few more innings, especially with the way our offense is playing, which, yeah, only 1 hit so far. Yeah, let's see. Need something to get going here. Chourio. As Chourio drives it deep to left field, that might get us going. That's a long one. 382 feet. Have to see works a walk. All right, I will take that. Siani now up. He's been hitless so far. I mean, Siani and Santana are our two best defenders. Look versus left-handed. I mean, we could look to pinch hit for Santana. He, you know, is hitless so far in this series. Let's see what Siani can do. As he drives it, and he rewards me leaving him in with extra bases. That might score Griffin. It should score Griffin with his speed, I would think. Tucker hurries after it. Griffin crosses into third base. Griffin does not score. Okay, so Santana up with runners on second and third. This is the biggest at-bat of the game. Probably the worst person you want here at the plate. It is only the fifth inning, but with season on the line, I'm pitch hitting Cooper Kinney here. You know, he's been one of our best hitters this season. He came up clutch in a pinch hit opportunity earlier in the series for us. Let's see how he does here against Bubic. Because he does at least put the ball in play. It's a force out at first, but it does score a run. I'm happy with that. Gets us to 3-2. And let's see, Cerda. Yeah, also hitless, but Garcia's been worse against lefties, so I want to stick with Cerda here. We'll see how it goes. As Cerda grounds it weakly to the left-hand side, that's going to be an out, most likely it is, but we get closer with the home run and some good hitting there by the rest of our lineup. Alright, so Montero will shift over to shortstop, and Kinney will stay in to play first. Yeah, which means we'll have to do some shifting with Keyshaw. Who can actually play second for us? Let's see, we got Mooney that can play decent second base, and Hanson left to put in. Keyshaw actually is a 50 at second base as well. For now, I don't mind shifting him over to second. We might look to shift that around later in the game, but I think a 50 at second base should be fine. In terms of pitching, the bottom half of their order, I think this is where we put in someone to try to get at least, you know, through the next four batters and see where we're at when Volpe comes up to the plate. Pitching stats versus righties. Top of the sixth. Let's go with Bruce, 31 pitches yesterday. I think let's go with Baz. Against the bottom of their order. See what he can do. Strikeout. Like to see that on the first batter. As Arias bats from the left side against Baz. Ground ball to our shortstop Keyshaw, or second baseman Keyshaw. And Avina now up to bat. And another weak grounder to Keyshaw, who puts out. That's a 1-2-3 inning. Alright, good stuff from Baz. And Bubic still in the game. As we might look, okay, Montero's going to hit. He's been one of our best hitters, actually, in this series so far. As he does ground weakly to the left-hand side. Now, Schwarber has not been one of our best hitters, but I don't know in this spot if I want to pinch hit for him. Yeah, because someone like Hansen is probably not going to do much better as a batter. Mooney, I'd like to save for a better pinch hit spot, maybe against a right-handed pitcher. Garcia, I'd definitely like to save for a right-handed opportunity potentially later in the game. So, versus lefties. I mean, Schwarber hasn't done much, so yeah, why not? Luke Hansen, show me what you got. As he strikes out on 3 pitches. Okay, well, he showed me what he had. All right, and that would be Sir not appearing in the rest of this game. We'll see. All right, DeLuca, he's gonna stay in the fight. He's gonna strike out. Okay, Bubic still dealing. All right, Baz against Naylor. Let's see. I think if Baz gives up any kind of hit or walk, I'll bring in someone to get the last few outs, but we're going to let him roll against Volpe, as he is only at 21 pitches. See if he can get through this inning and then go to the clutch guys towards the back part of our bullpen and look to have those guys keep the game under control. As Lombard comes up with the bases empty. And that is hit to center field. Alright, so with Tucker up, I'm just going to bring in whoever is best against lefties. And that is going to be... would be Ferris, but he's not an option. Anderson. As Tucker pops it up in the infield. Nice job by Anderson. As we got Keyshawn and Cheerio Griffin up for us. Bubic still in at 95 pitches. This is where we got to make him pay. Like, there's no reason in a 3-2 game for your starter to still be in at 95 pitches. That's crazy. And Keyshawn makes him pay by looping a little single into right field. There's the substitution. Arguably a batter too late. But hopefully we can take advantage of that. As Churio did come through clutch earlier in the game, but also has not hit righties well this season. So we have a decision to make in terms of do we pinch hit for him? I think we ride the hot hand and maybe look to pinch hit for Griffin. Yeah. Churio hit a home run earlier. I mean, I can't in good conscience take him out right now. Oh, as he gets that force out at first. Does Keyshawn make it over to second successfully? He is safe. Okay, so he does at least advance the runner over. That's good. Griffin is 0 for 1 today. Yeah, as we will pinch hit Garcia. I mean, we need runs. We need runs badly. So, as Keyshawn stealing third, what are you doing? Okay, he made it in safely. That's honestly not an awful steal if you can get away with it, because now any fly ball will score the runner. So, Garcia, let's see, and that does drive it out. Shallow center field. Is he going to tag and try to score? No. No, he does not. I'd like to see maybe a little more aggressive base running there. with Siani up next. Although Siani does have a hit in today's game, so yeah, let's see how this goes. As he strikes it. Okay, yeah. You gotta go, even if it's a shallow fly ball, like, I think you try to score that. Alright. Garcia will stay in to play catcher. We're going to pinch hit Mooney for Cerda. Mooney will play second. Keyshaw. Mooney will play third. Because Keyshaw can't play. Alright. And we've gone through our bench already, so who we've got. Tyler Anderson only had 5 pitches. Again, if he gets into trouble, I'll probably look to bring in somebody else, but I'm going to leave him in here. As Judge hits a fly ball to left field, that's out. Dominguez. Yeah, any kind of base runners, I think, would bring in somebody else, as rather than Q, just Dominguez hits one into center. Lawler Arias. Alright, so we're going to bring in... We are going to bring in somebody. I think... Vernon gave up a run. I think it's rope. Rope time. Dominguez at first. Oh. Alright, nice job blocking that by Garcia. It's a 3-2 pitch, and oh, it squirts past the second baseman. Oh, I hate to see that. That's a booing from the crowd today. Alright. Arias up against Rob. So they just take the out at first. That scores a run. I hate to see it. Alright, Avina. Let's see if he can get Avina out as there's a pop up in the infield. Kenny grabs that. Okay, so we got 2 innings to try and score as Minho on comes up to face Kenny. Alright, show me what you got. Alright, it's a base runner. Kenny's on. Down by 2. Mooney. What can he do? He struck out. Alright. Montero, one of our best hitters in the series. He is 0 for 3 today. Works the count full, and he walks. Tying run now on first base. Luke Hansen, pinch hit for Schwarber earlier in the game. Has a chance to play the hero here. As he hits it deep to center field. Is that going to stay in? It will. And Avina out number 2. Johnny DeLuca. He's been hot going into this series. He's 0 for 3 today. 2 outs, 2 on. He hits it, and that is fair down the line. That's going to score at least 1, maybe 2, as they try to hit it in, as he makes it all the way to third. DeLuca with the triple, double, and then I guess a double and an extra base, and it's a tie ball game. All right, Keyshaw would love to see a hit here with a chance to. No, alright, Keyshaw does not put the ball in play as Rope is up facing Naylor. Now the question is, do we put in our closer? I think we let Rope stay out there. And again, any sort of base runner, we bring in Sinja to try and close out the game. Maybe we just let him face Naylor and then bring in Sinja regardless. Yeah, actually that's going to be the play. Alright. Naylor strikes out, and Sinja will come in to face the last 2 batters here as we turn over to the top of their order. Very dangerous. Volpe, Lombard, and Tucker. If either of those guys get on, we want Sinja in to face the top of their order and try to get to the bottom of the ninth. The game's still tied with a chance to win, because we don't want this to go to extras. Kenny grabs it, full plays out. Sinja only at 3 pitches. Lombard Jr. steps up and pops it up to Kenny and brings it down. All right, so 4-4, tie game, bottom of the ninth. We have Chorio, Garcia, Ciani up to bat with Kenny up if any of those guys get on. The bench is empty, so who we have in is who we have. Chorio did hit a home run earlier in the game. Let's see if he can be the hero here again today. As he loops it into center field, that's a nice start. Garcia, hitless so far today, hitless so far in the playoffs. Let's see if he can at least advance the runner as kind of a swinging bunt out to the pitcher, as they do get the force out at second base. Not a double play though. All right, Garcia 1 for 3 today. Or Ciani 1 for 3 today. Let's see. As he hits it, and that does fall in. All right. Garcia makes it all the way to third, and now anything to the outfield should score the winning run. Kenny. As they leave Minho on in at 36 pitches. You have an entire bullpen, guys. What are you doing? All right, infield in for the Yankees. Cooper Kinney. Anything outside of the infield should score the winning run. As he drives it, and they try to go for the play at home, and they get him. Ciani goes to third. 2 outs, first and third. Mooney needs a hit to score the winning run. Any hit will score the winning run. As Minhoan's still in the game at 41 pitches. Make him pay, you guys. As there's a high hopper to the second baseman, but they do get the force out of first. And we are going to extra innings in this deciding Game 3. Sinja will stay in for us. He's only at 5 pitches. Alright, we are back into the 10th. As Sinja will stay in to face Tucker Bregman Dominguez. And bases are empty for Tucker. Sinja gets the strikeout. Love to see it. Alright. Pinch hitting Henry Mendez with his first at-bat in the series. Let's see what he can do against Sinja. As he hits it to right, and it does fall in for a hit. So they have a base runner. Let's see if we can induce the double play from Dominguez. That's what I'd like to see here. As it is hit right at the shortstop. They get 1. They turn it and get 2. Awesome job by our defense. As we go in, still tied 4-4. Any runs now will win the game for us in the bottom of the 10th. As they bring in Ryan Helsley to pitch. Fresh reliever out there for the Yankees, who have not really used a lot of their bullpen throughout this series. As Montero hits it hard to right, but right at Tucker. 1 out. Hansen, so far not justifying the decision to pinch hit him for Schwarber. Will he be the hero here in today's game? I'd love to see that. As he hits it deep to right field, but not deep enough. Dominguez pulls it down. 2 outs. Johnny DeLuca, he's been hot. He had a clutch hit to tie the game. Will he be the hero? As he walks. All right, winning run is now on. Will he look to steal to get into scoring position with Keyshaw up the plate? As he does take off, and looks like he's going to be safe. Very nice. Scoring position. Any hit now should hopefully score the winning run. It's a clutch steal. Keyshaw. Oh, gets hit. Okay. Ultimately, that run doesn't matter. But Chorio, 2 for 4 today with a home run. Let's see how he does. As they call that strike 3. All right, we are headed to the 11th inning. Singe is still at 17 pitches. I think I'm going to leave him in through the bottom of this order, and then we'll go to someone else once it turns around again. Hopefully we won't have to. We'll get the next 3 guys out, but yeah, I mean, Singe is our closer. I want to leave him in there as long as it makes sense. 3-2, and there is a hit to right field as it drops in the corner. Extra bases. Okay, now is the question, does it make sense to bring in a fresh arm over Sinja? He still is at 25 pitches, a little bit tired, but I think it makes sense for him to face Avina, and then maybe bring in someone else to face Naylor. I'm going to leave him in for this batter, though, as he strikes out. Very nice. Okay, now at 30 pitches. Naylor is 0 for 4 today. Alright, this will be Singe's last batter, no matter what. As Naylor works the walk. Okay. So, top of the order. Singe now at 36 pitches. We are going to bring in either McFarland or Jax. I think Jax makes the most sense to try and get just the 1 out here. And then we bring in McFarland if the game goes to the 12th. Jax just needs to get the 1 out here. As Volpe does put the ball in play, but it's popped out to the third baseman Mooney. And we are going to the bottom of the 11th. Man, this is everything you could want from Game 3, the exciting game of the series. Love to see our offense do a little more as Garcia strikes out as if on cue. Hinches comes in to pitch for the Yankees. They do still have most of their bullpen available. Brock Stewart and Lance McCullers Jr. now a middle reliever for them, as is Kodai Senga. That's a interesting staff there, as we are down to just 3 in our bullpen. McFarland, Baez, Jones, our long reliever. So we may need to see what to do with Jax if it goes to the 12th. I don't want to think about that right now because we still have Cooper Kinney up to bat in the 11th. Let's see if Kinney can do something here with 2 outs. He drives it, but shallow and playable for Avina. Okay, so Jack's only at 3 pitches. I think he'll face Lombard, and then who is better against lefties? Jax has decent numbers against lefties. Better than our other relievers that are remaining, so I think we let him go. Alright, as first batter grounds out softly to the third baseman. Tucker up. Does work a 3-2 count. And works a walk. Alright. It's Ben Rice coming in to pinch hit. Jack's at 11 pitches. I think this might be Jax's last batter, potentially. As we get to the switch hitting Dominguez after this. Some bunts. Bunts. Now, does move the runner over, but you have 2 outs now. I don't know if I agree with that call necessarily. McFarland will come in for us to face Dominguez. Just needs to get this last out. As Dominguez does hit it deep, but not deep enough, as Ciani pulls it down. We are headed to bottom of 12th. Still tied 4-4. Brock Stewart coming in to pitch for the Yankees there. Going through their bullpen here, as Fried and Hess, they still technically have available. I guess for us, we do still have Petty and Snelling, who could pitch if we had to use them. I mean, obviously we don't want to. Yeah, hopefully we don't need to, as we've got the top of our order up. Mooney, Montero, Hansen. Hansen struggling so far. He will likely not be on our playoff roster in the next series regardless. Mooney goes down swinging. Montero 0 for 4 today after being hot the rest of the series. Goes down swinging. And then Hansen, I mean, all will be forgiven if you could get a hit here, buddy. Let's see what he can do as he goes down swinging. All right, Stewart strikes out the side. As we go to the 13th inning, my God. All right. I think I'll leave McFarland in to face these 4 batters, and then I don't even know after that. As we are going through the bullpen here. Nice strikeout from McFarland there. Soft contact here. Gets Arias out. And Avina 1 for 5 today. As that does just get through Keyshaw for a single. Alright, Naylor up. As that gets away, and now Avina in scoring position. But I will leave in McFarland to face Naylor as he walks in. Okay. Who do we have left? We've got Baez and we've got Jones. McFarland at 16 pitches. I think we leave him in there and just deal with the result of whatever happens. As he walks in. Okay, that's 2 consecutive walks. Gotta bring in another pitcher. And it's gonna be, I think, Baez here. Yeah. Bases loaded. Just need to get one out, buddy. As ball is hit to Mooney, who does get the force out at first. And we prevent any runs from scoring. Go to the bottom of the 13th inning. But we are rapidly running out of pitchers here. DeLuca, Keyshaw, Churio up in this inning. As DeLuca works a walk. Alright, winning run now at first base. Let's see if DeLuca looks to steal again. As Keyshaw strikes out looking. Alright, Churio up to bat. DeLuca does look to steal, and he does successfully steal. Alright, winning run now at second base. Got 2 opportunities with Churio and Garcia to get the winning run in. As Churio walks, they bring in Senga to face Garcia, who is hitless today, hitless in the playoffs. We'd love to see him be the hero. We'd love for someone to be the hero. As Garcia hits it to center, DeLuca tags up, goes for third, and will make it in safely. Alright. So, Ciani, 2 outs, winning run at third. Any hit will score the winning run. Ciani hits it to the shortstop. They get the first and second. And we are going to the 14th inning. My God. Alright. Baez has got to stay in to face Tucker Rice Dominguez just because we are down to only Gavin Jones in the bullpen. And yeah, I don't even know what to say here. 14 innings. We've now gone 5 consecutive innings without any runs being scored by either team, as Rice does get a single to center field. Baez facing Dominguez as he walks in. Alright, shortstop, will that be 2? They get 1. They get 2. They get the force out double play. All right, as we go to the bottom of the 14th, Kinney, Mooney, Montero up for us. Here's the pitch. As Kinney heats a dupe, that could be extra bases as it falls down, gets to the wall, and right away Kinney in at second, winning run with 3 chances to get him in. You guys, this is it. This is the opportunity. Mooney pops it up on the infield. You hate to see that as your first out. It does not advance the runner. We've still got 2 chances with Montero and Hansen up after him. Montero strikes out swinging. Hansen 0 for 4 today. It's a shallow pop-up, and despite leadoff double, no runs score. Baez at 20 pitches. Gonna leave him in though, because it's the 15th inning and all we've got is Jones after. I think we leave him in through the bottom of the order and then look to bring in a fresh arm for Volpe. As Baez now at 30 pitches, I think that's the play. Naylor hits one to the outfield, but Ciani brings it down. All right, bottom of the 15th. Hopefully it won't matter. As DeLuca steps in to face Senga. And grounds out to the second baseman. Who will be the hero here today? As Keyshaw steps in and grounds out to the first baseman, Bryce. All right. Chourio has been our best hitter today, 2 for 5. See if he can bring it home. A little grounder to the first baseman. Will it be in time? The pitch recovering? No. Chourio gets an infield single. All right. And that brings in, I think, the last pitcher in the... Right? Nope. Yankees do still have Gill and May in their bullpen ready to go. But it does knock Senga out of the game. Man. Garcia, still hitless today, still hitless in the series, but a hit right here would be clutch. As he goes too far, strikes out. 4 to 4. Okay. Baez will face Volpe, and then I think we're going to bring in Jones after that. Although he does strike him out on just 3 pitches. I'll let him face Lombard as well. As Lombard hits it deep, maybe that was a mistake. And it was. Baez with several solid innings of work, but ultimately does give up the home run. And we bring in Jones a batter too late, probably. Trying to play the matchups with the lefties. But Jones is our last pitcher. I mean, we're going to ride with him the rest of the way. Fortunately, he is also a starting pitcher. As Tucker hits that one deep and gone. It's falling apart here. I mean, we made it to 16 innings. You can't expect any pitching staff to hold him that long. As that's another deep fly ball. My God, it's all come apart here in the 16th inning. Demoralizing. All right, well, they put up 3. We'll have to see. Maybe a miracle's in store here, but not there. Ciani gets a ground out to the second baseman. You can already hear the fans filing to the exits. Now they're staying in place, the Oakland faithful. They're going to watch their team through hell or high water. As Mooney, last chance for the A's. as he hits it deep. Is it deep enough? It's off the wall. Okay, so not quite done yet. As Mooney gets a triple. Montero up to bat now. That is grounded to the third baseman. Crow pulls him off the bag a little bit, but it doesn't matter. Oakland is eliminated in 16 innings. I mean, that says it all right there. Just we went through almost everyone in our bullpen. Baez, you can argue maybe I left out there a batter too long, but he pitched 2 2/3 solid for us. I don't think there was much else I could have done. Maybe, pinch hitting for Schwarber might not have been the right play, as Hansen came in and went 0 for 5 after pinch hitting for him. Mooney was 1 for 5. I mean, really, our whole offense was just not great today, relatively. They got 17 hits. We got 10 in 16 innings. 3 of those came from Churio. He was great today. Ciani actually 2 for 7 as well. But a few of these guys, Garcia 0 for 5 after pinch hitting for Griffin, who, arguably should have stayed in the game. Kinney was 1 for 5. I don't regret pinch hitting for Santana there. Yeah, it's a tough loss, but I mean, it went 16 innings. That's about as close of a game 3 as you can possibly get, and it's not like it's against a scrub team either. The Yankees, they're a great team. They would have won any other division in baseball. They just happen to be in a division with 2 other really good teams. So, kind of do a quick season wrap up here. Let me cut to the next screen here. All right, and we will start simming through the rest of the playoffs here, as the Yankees sweep the Red Sox in the next series. The Baltimore-Texas series goes the full 5 games as Baltimore comes out on top. The Orioles are a great team as well. Over in the NL, the Braves sweep the Nationals. The Reds sweep the Padres. Let's see how the next series goes. As Braves goes the full 7 games as the Reds make it to the World Series against the Yankees. I mean, it would at least be a little consolation if we were to lose to the team that eventually did win the World Series, as our scout is busy scouting in the Dominican Republic. Let's see how Pedro Villanueva turns out. My guess is not worth noting. All right, as Cutter Coffee is eligible to come off the IL. That's great. As we save here. And the Yankees are the World Series champions, and the offseason has started. We did a great job, but yeah, it's still a bit of a disappointing end to a season, but it's important to remember that, I went into the season hoping to play 500 ball, and instead we won the division with 95 games, made the playoffs, went the full 3 games against the eventual World Series champions, Yankees. So, it is a good season. And we have a lot to look forward to here, as, Zanatello, Torrin come back healthy. I did look at the regular season performance of a lot of our players already. I guess I can mention here some of our top prospects, as, they will have just reevaluated here. Strapidopoulos has been dealing so far in the minors. didn't give up an earned run in A plus ball, came into Double A and pitched 5 great starts as well. He'll probably pitch a little bit in spring training for us. Maybe get called up as soon as next season, which is a little crazy after getting drafted last year. He's only 22. He could be a future ace for us. Very much justifying using that second overall pick on him. Sharpton, who was our top pick in 2028 at 8th overall, he's doing decently well. He still seems like he might be a little ways away, as he's did okay in Double A last year. Still has a bit of potential to fulfill. Can play every infield spot, and I'll probably look to try and cross train him at outfield as well, at least the corner outfield spots. So he can kind of be that utility role for us. Again, we may see him next season. Probably see him a little bit in spring training as well. Eddie Rainville, still our 59th overall prospect. Did well in A ball in limited time after starting the year in rookie ball. He still needs to bring that control up if he's going to be a viable starting pitcher, or any kind of pitcher really. 25 control is not going to play, as he's walking almost 6 per 9, but also striking out 13.8 per 9. So very, that's kind of what you'd expect from that type of pitcher. But we need his control up if he's going to be anything. And Gary Daly, who was our 4th overall pick in this year's draft, is currently ranked 83rd in baseball in our minor league system overall. 11th out of 32. That's not bad, considering we started with nothing 2 seasons ago. Built that up decently well. Let's look at some of our other highly touted prospects. Is Kevin Davison, who was our 2nd overall pick this year. Came in and started in A-ball, and kind of the same mold as Rainville, where that control isn't super high, but if it does come up a little bit, he can be a really dangerous pitcher. Gerald Zimmerman, who we got in a trade with the Yankees, he's not a good fielder, but he slots in potentially as a first baseman, and if he fulfills these hitting ratings, he could be a solid first baseman type for us in a few years. He is only 20 years old too. We got him in the Bo Naylor trade, I believe. Jack Buechele, Jose Guevara, both these are 24-year-old guys. Maybe they'll pitch for us a little bit next year. Despite being listed at the top of the starting rotation, I don't have high hopes for them at the moment. Kevin Dingus, though, despite having a great name, also doing well. He was our 5th overall pick. He did start 1 game in Double A. Probably start him. I don't know. I'll need to see if he starts at A plus or Double A next year. Jesus was another high pick last year. He's been doing well. Again, not much of a fielder, but has very nice projections for his hitting ratings, and has hit well. Started the year at rookie ball, crushed the ball, and continued to hit pretty well in A, so that's where he'll likely start the season next year. And Steven Martinez, who was formerly a top prospect for us, doing decently well in Double A. He doesn't have amazing potential here, but he is only 22, so he's still got a slight chance to improve. Could look to be a backup outfielder type for us. I don't think there's many other notable prospects here to talk about, as we are officially in the off season. Going forward, I'll need to see. There's quite a few guys that are eligible for arbitration. At a glance, we'll probably look to bring all of these guys back. Someone like Keishal was a little underwhelming in terms of his performance of the regular season. He is due $7 million arbitration. I mean, we're still bringing him back for sure, but I know I talked about maybe doing a long-term contract. That's probably not in the cards at the moment. Someone like DeLuca, maybe if it makes sense, could try to do a long-term contract. Shane Baz, Jack Sawinski, he missed most of the season. He will not be back this next year unless he's come back for peanuts. Yeah, so going forward, I think we'll bring back largely most of the same players. As we'll get Jackson Ferris back from injury. Our starting rotation looks pretty solid between these six guys. Like five of these guys will be starting for us. I'll have to figure out which ones. Jax we have for another season. Well, we have a team option to pick up, which I will for $6 million. He pitched well enough to come back. And yeah, we're in a decent spot, especially with most, if not all, of these guys coming back next season. Schwarber will also be back next season. We'll have a chance to maybe improve on some of these. Some of our prospects will get a little bit better. Yeah, I think we should be right in the mix. We've got Bellows still in the minors, who could look to slot into our rotation somewhere as well. Is 24, almost 25 years old, but yeah, he could be in there as well. I don't think there's much else I want to talk about here. Next episode, we'll get into the off season. We'll start doing some of the, you know, arbitration, free agency, international free agency. I think we can even get into some of those guys here, as yeah, they are out there. But I won't look to do that now. We'll do that in the next episode. So hope you enjoyed watching this. Kind of a disappointing end of the season there, but still a good season overall. Still much better season than I expected going in. Yeah, I mean, we have a team now that can actually compete. Should theoretically only be getting better with some of our prospects coming through the ranks here. Yeah, we'll have to see how things go. The future is bright, I think, for the Oakland Athletics. So join us next time. See you then.